father showed up at my lecture hall on a Tuesday morning, and my professor stopped mid-sentence when she saw him in the doorway. I remember she'd been explaining something about cellular mitosis, her hand frozen mid-gesture on the whiteboard. She looked at him, then at me, then back at him, and said, "Go ahead," in a voice that wasn't hers. My father never came to campus. In 4 years, he'd never seen my lecture hall, never asked which building I had class in. He stood there in his work clothes, paint still on his hands from the job site, and the entire room went quiet. I closed my notebook slowly because some part of me understood that whatever came next would make the words on that page irrelevant. He didn't say anything, just looked at me and tilted his head toward the hall. I picked up my bag and walked out while 60 people watched in complete silence. He was already walking when I got to the hallway, not waiting, just assuming I'd follow. I had to jog to catch up. I asked him what was wrong. He kept walking. I asked if Mom was okay. He said yes, but his voice cracked on the word. We got to the parking lot and he stopped next to his truck, the one with the ladder rack and the company name on the side, and put both hands on the hood like he was holding himself upright. That's when I knew it was about Finn, my younger brother, 19, 2 years younger than me. But people always thought we were twins because we moved the same way, talked over each other, finished each other's sentences. I asked my father if Finn was hurt. He shook his head. I asked where he was. My father looked at me then, and his face was completely empty, and he said, "He's gone." The words didn't make sense. Gone where? Gone how? I'd seen Finn 3 days ago. Sunday night. He'd come over to my apartment to borrow my headphones because his broke and he had a long drive the next morning. Early shift at the warehouse. He'd stayed for maybe 10 minutes, grabbed the headphones, told me he'd return them Friday, and left. Nothing significant. No goodbye that felt like a goodbye. Just a regular Sunday night. My father told me Finn had fallen asleep driving to work Monday morning. They think it happened fast. The car went off the highway into a concrete barrier at full speed. Someone had called 911, but by the time they arrived, it was already over. He said the police came to the house at 6 a.m. He said my mother answered the door, and he knew from the sound she made what they were going to say before they said it. I didn't cry. I just stood there in the parking lot watching a bird land on a light post, and I felt like I'd been removed from my own body. My father pulled out his phone. He didn't want to show me, he said, but he needed me to know before I saw it somewhere else. Someone had filmed it. The accident scene. He didn't know who. Maybe someone driving by. Maybe someone who stopped to help. The video was already online, already spreading. He'd seen it posted in a local news group, then shared in the community page. Then someone from Finn's work had sent it in a group chat, not knowing our family would see it. He said he watched 30 seconds before he understood what he was looking at. He said he reported it everywhere he could find it, but it kept appearing in new places. He said he'd driven straight to my campus because he didn't want me to open my phone and see my brother's death between posts about someone's lunch and a meme. I asked him if Finn was visible in the video. He said no, just the car, the barrier, the lights. He said thank God for that, at least. But I understood what he meant. Even without seeing Finn, the video turned his death into content, something people could watch while waiting in line at the grocery store, something people could scroll past. My father and I sat in his truck for over an hour. He didn't start the engine. He didn't try to say comforting things. He'd already cried. I could tell. His eyes had that raw look that comes after. He just sat there with both hands on the steering wheel, staring straight ahead, present in a way that required everything he had left. And I realized this was the only thing he could have done. Not fix it, not explain it. Just be there in the worst hour so I wouldn't be alone in it. I still haven't watched the video. I don't know if it's still circulating somewhere in the algorithm. People forget fast. Their outrage moves on. But I've decided that the last version of Finn I'm keeping is him standing in my apartment doorway on Sunday night, my headphones in his hand, saying he'd see me Friday. That moment where I didn't know it was the last time. That ordinary moment where I didn't say anything important, and neither did he. That's the one I'm holding on to.